This is the Bonus Section Podcast, episode number 49. If you'll just pay the dues. Are you the type of person that knows you were meant for something greater in this lifetime, and that somewhere inside of you, there's just this bigger version of yourself trying to break through? But in spite of all your self-development, you just can't seem to find the way up? Well, then, hey, you are definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of the Bonus Section and the host of this podcast, and a person just like you trying to learn how to live the most fulfilling life possible. So to help you take immediate action to get moving in a better direction so you can do that, we take all the notes from each episode and we post them for a short period of time at freethinkingtools.com, freethinkingtools.com. So jump over there, you get some notes, sit down, nice glass of wine, maybe a little Coca-Cola if you're underage. Take it easy and think for yourself, okay? Think for yourself. That's the key here. We want to empower you to be critical thinkers. All right, if you'll just pay the dues, what are we talking about here? Well, let's hit the first point here. The sucker's bet is this concept of instant gratification. We're always looking to be instantly gratified. Everything needs to be so fast and so quick. And again, it's putting tremendous pressure on young people today, especially because they're growing up with their phone. The next thing you know, it's like, I don't look right in this moment. I need this clothing, and it's crazy on how quickly we want that instant gratification, right? Whether it's the Facetune app or it's the more importantly, the body app. And God forbid, should we go out for a run, for a walk, lift some weights, do some yoga, do some meditation, anything that would make us of sound mind and body. It just sounds like so much work when you can just have one of these filters and everything can be just right. So we're getting sucked into this game of instant gratification more and more and more. And we're losing this sense of work ethic. It's lost on us. I mean, it's amazing to me how many people now just start and stop a job. You can see it on resumes everywhere. 6 months here, 4 months there, 3 months there. And again, I get it that you're not going to really sit still in something that you don't like when you don't have to and you can move around. But it's just too much jumping around. And what's happening is that you're not giving yourself a chance to think about what you really love and stick with that. You're dabbling in everything. So instant gratification is creating this sense of being able to dabble. And now, maybe if you're post-school level, you can make a living like that. Maybe you're organized and you can dabble as an independent contractor in multiple things, but it just feels so scattered. And it never gives you roots in security at anything. You never become really valuable at anything. So that makes you dispensable, right? People just don't need you in that capacity. I mean, whether it's as an athlete, whether it's as a worker, whatever it might be, because there's no texture to you. You're flimsy. Your resume is flimsy. Your background is flimsy. It's flimsy, and that still matters. And it matters to you when you look in the mirror. If everything is just so quick and instant, it's never enough, by the way, right? You just can't get those endorphins and all the good chemicals in your brain. You can't get them going regularly enough to stay high on the right stuff. So now you're on the wrong stuff to get high because the instant gratification didn't work. So there's the problem. Instant gratification and it conditioning us to not have any sort of work ethic at any kind of thing that we love to do. All right, so let's get into the next point here. So that's what, okay? But how is this happening? What do we mean? What does it really look like? And again, I talk about my kids a lot in this podcast because they're a living, breathing example of watching this evolution. And what I see is that, and again, obviously I practice what I preach. Not obvious to you, but I'll say this. I have tried to find out what each one of my 5 kids loves to do and gone all in, done crazy things for them just to give them the platform to get a taste on it, to get the wind in their own sails and then to take off, right? And I say jokingly, I don't want them back on my dock, right? Swim, right? Swim. And so when you're looking at that, and there are things, well, there are all the natural things that come with not knowing. Okay, just because you give somebody permission and then they give themselves permission, more importantly, which is far more important, they give themselves permission to be this thing. It's scary, right? It's scary if it's new. It doesn't matter whether you're young or older. New is scary. And so we get scared and we do what? Procrastinate. That's what we do. We want to move. I mean, I see this because I'm in the real estate business. I see it all the time where people really would love to just move to a whole other state, start all over again, new weather, whatever it might be, new job. And it's scary. So what do? They procrastinate. They make all sorts of noise. I've talked about this in another podcast. Beware the noise making, but more importantly, the noise making that you do. And that's what's crazy. When I look at my kids avoiding paying the dues or doing the hard work, they're spending so much energy to procrastinate that they're actually doing the work that it takes, but they're becoming professional procrastinators, noisemakers, avoiders, right? Liars. You're working so hard at all of that. It's taking all this energy. And what happens is now you have the boss, you have your parents, you have yourself in the mirror, and you're frustrated. And you're angry, and you're mad, and you're short-tempered. Why? Because you're working so hard at something that doesn't empower you. And you keep trying to go back to instant gratification. Well, I just take a quick look at the stuff for the test, and then you get an F. Oh, I'll just, maybe take a quick read of the audition stuff, and then you don't get anywhere near close to called back. I could go on and on with examples. I won't, but that's what I mean. We spend our hours, by the way, doing something, right? Something. There's 168 hours every single week. I better be careful of absolute, I bet there's some scientific thing that there's not, but let's just, for sake of argument, say we typically have 168 hours to do anything we want with it. Now, of course, if you don't want to be a walking zombie, you're going to sleep and you're going to do things like that are normal bodily functions that allow us to survive. I get it. So wipe out those hours. But let's just start with really just a little bit. What does it really take us to focus on for time to be good at something? Well, it could start with just 15 minutes of trying something. 15 minutes can be a long time. I was going for a walk the other day and I was going to be late for a call and I kept looking down. I was making amazing progress in a short period of time, just in a walk. So I kept underestimating how much I could accomplish in that amount of time. And that's what I think we all do. Because we're so used to, if we don't jump right online or something doesn't happen our way and we throw this tantrum, there goes all the energy, throwing the tantrum, being mad, and then disappearing into watching, binging on movies, binging on food, disappearing for hours and doing nothing online, looking for some way that maybe something will come across our phone that will what? Save us? Procrastination is all it is. And we're getting really good at it. It's becoming a modern day specialty. So we're working hard at something already. Great news, right? Great news. Hard work is not lost on us because we're actually working hard at becoming professional procrastinators and professional seekers of instant gratification. That takes a ton of hours to do. So there's your good news, right? But let's just take the issue here. Is that we don't see that as work at all because we're probably in some sort of a trance-like state. We're probably in an addictive state. The brain is addicted and we don't even know the time is passing. Whereas when we look at becoming great at the thing we really would love to be, we see the words hard work. Let that sink in for a second. We see suddenly the words hard work. It just seems like a lot to us. It seems overwhelming to us because it's like, wow, we could become this thing. But I can't even fathom that wouldn't take a tremendous amount of work for me to become that thing. But yet I can sit here for hours and hours and hours procrastinating, which takes work. Your brain is still burning calories and you're flipping from one thing to the next and your fingers are going through your phone and it's a lot. It's hard work. It's hard work to keep flipping through Netflix and look at this. I don't like this movie. I like this. It's work. All of it. It's work. until you fall asleep. Then it's no longer work. It's rest and it's recovery. So we have this choice. So why do we not see the ugly stuff, procrastination, seeking instant gratification, as hard work? It's a good question, and I don't have an answer for it. But at least I want to make you aware that hard work can be used to be empowering. See, maybe I know deep inside that I'm frustrated. Look, God bless you. If you're sitting there on social media and you make a living on it and you're doing a great job and that's why you're there, great. I'm not talking to you about that. You're doing the right thing by that medium. It's everybody else that's getting sucked in and they're not getting anything from it, right? They're just being used. So I'm saying, let's just start off with hard work as an empowering concept. Stop making it the bad guy. Hard work is a wonderful thing. It makes you feel valued, useful. All these powerful words that are attributable as a result of hard work at anything, even when you're working hard at the wrong thing, right? Like when I say that, I don't mean like all the stuff I talked about that was negative, procrastination, instant gratification. That's not good for your soul. But let's just say you have a plan and you want to become an actress and you keep applying on the wrong website. At least you're making a move, and what you're learning from that is, okay, that wasn't the right spot. Let's get over here. Okay, that wasn't the right, the crowd that I was in the wrong improv class and I've got to get to the right one. That's what I mean. At least you're moving in the direction. You're working hard in the direction of this big goal that if you attain, you feel good, because just imagining arriving at it brings this incredible drip of positive chemical reaction in your brain, and you can almost feel it. That's that acting as if. Sit there for a few minutes while I'm doing this. Pause this and think and see, that's me. That's me. That's me there. I'm out there, right? That's the direction I mean. You can make mistakes along the way and make course corrections. It's when you're moving completely in the opposite direction of what you really want and just procrastinating, killing time with all this other stuff. That's the negative stuff. The positive mistakes, you're still working hard in a direction and you can course correct. That's empowering. That word empowering you're giving yourself the power. You're not feeling like you're not in control. The more you procrastinate, the less control you feel, the more miserable you are, and the more desperately far away your real life seems. But it's not true. It's an illusion. It's always right there. You can always stop no matter where you are and move in the direction of that empowerment. With some hard work. I don't care if it's for 10 minutes. Then it becomes 15, 20, and then you are lost in that craft and no longer the other crap. So, like I said, let's put hard work up on the board because you're going to use it somehow. We all do. It's hard work just to survive and find food every day. Definitely. So why don't we just apply it to the thing that we want and begin to fight the battle? Try to pull some hard work out of procrastinating and move it into an empowering movement in a direction of something you want. And I'm not going to be dramatic about some major thing. How about you just want to feel better about yourself and you want to go for a walk once a week? And it seems like incredibly hard work, but you do it. You won. That's all I mean. Let's get moving with hard work in a positive direction, even if it's a fraction of the 168. All right. Now, the last point here is when you continue to pay dues for what you want, amazing things happen. I mean, amazing. And it's weird for me that as time's gone on and I've gotten older, I just keep on these few things that are really important to me. So for me, it's family and business. I love those two things. In small business, creative parts of small business, I just don't stop working on only those things. I've gotten rid of a lot of other things that were forms of procrastination. And some of them seem like they were really important. Whether it be hanging around with some buddies or whatever it might be. Like when I focused on what really mattered and stopped all that other procrastination, it is amazing what I was able to learn, who I was able to become in those contexts. Not easy. Always a problem to solve. Every day, multiple, but just more and more empowered and looking back on, yeah, this is it. This is right. I'm writing this script correctly now because these are the things that are most important to me. And I'm blocking out all these other things. I love that Steve Jobs quote that they were more proud of what they didn't do at Apple versus what they did do. Meaning I made the tough decisions in a lot of the parts of my life to stop these procrastinations because there were other things that were more important to me. And the more and more I focus, the more and more positively addicted I become to solving the micro problems. They used to be macro. Oh my gosh, how am I going to start that business? Oh my gosh, how am I going to create that website? It just seemed like they were monstrous things, but I just won 10 minutes at a time. 15 became an hour became a week became a quarter became a couple years. That's what happens because you get caught up in the wave of this positivity. And by the way, the chemicals that begin to flow when you're actually paying your dues and making progress and it's accelerating, man, is that an addiction that can never be competed with on the addiction you have to procrastination and instant gratification seeking. No, it's not even close. I get it that those games are rigged to suck us in. There's nothing like paying your dues and feeling that chemical drip. So let me go back and summarize this, okay? If you'll just pay the dues, you do that by recognizing, first of all, that we're paying dues to the sucker's bet, instant gratification. We're actually paying the dues and paying the time over to our seeking of instant gratification. The second point was you need to recognize that and recognize that you're already working hard. Hard work is already part of what you do because it takes an enormous amount of time to procrastinate. Time, energy, effort, thinking, everything. It's the same to procrastinate as it is to pursue something more positively. So if you'll just take the third point and see the words hard work as empowering if you move in the direction of what you really want to be doing. Right? Because deep in your heart, if you're happy procrastinating, keep doing it. If you're not, look the other way towards fulfillment of doing something you want. And lastly, when you continue to pay the dues for what you want, really, amazing things happen. You become an amazing version of yourself. You won't even believe it. So get going in that direction. Let me summarize it this way. As we grow out of childhood and into maturity, it's hard to shed the desire for this instant gratification that we've experienced when others, quite frankly, are in charge of our well-being. Just think about that when you're a kid. You get instant gratification. I want food. Yep, here it is. I want a jacket. Yeah, here it is. Somebody's taking care of you. So why wouldn't we be wired this way? However, we must realize the need to embrace hard work and the concept of paying our dues as the ultimate and best pathway to personal success, but perhaps the only way to true self-pride and self-fulfillment. All right, remember, you can take immediate action to get moving in a better direction for your life because we take the notes from these podcasts. If you like them, you can go check out over at freethinkingtools.com. We leave you notes over there so that there's a footprint and you can match it up to the most recent couple of episodes and you can get thinking. That's all we're trying to provoke you to think here. Become a critical thinker. We keep showing up every week just to maybe stimulate some thought. Also, don't forget you can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen, or find us on any of our social media channels for the bonus section. And that way you won't miss out on the episodes. We'd also appreciate it if you would join our mission of becoming people for others and share our content, right? Just share this stuff. Just try to give information to other people. You don't even have to go into the insight business. Just share with them. Maybe it'll help them, okay? We'd appreciate that. But remember this, I sign off the same way every single time in all my podcasts. Nobody is coming for you. Nobody. So go get to work on yourself and a better plan for your life. And we will see you in the next episode to help you do just that. Thanks again.